I need to have the best computer. I need to have the best microphones. Well, I need to have a studio. Well, I should probably have the best whatever. If you put those roadblocks in front of you and you're the only one doing it, no one else is doing it but you. When you do that, you're just stopping yourself from reaching your dreams, reaching what you want to do, your goals.
Every day we're bombarded by everything wrong in the world. When we pick up our phone, turn on the TV, or listen to the radio, we hear all about the heartbreak and destruction happening across the globe. But what if we could change that? What if we could begin to heal the world by focusing on all that's right? We're surrounded by stories of those helping their communities, achieving amazing things, and overcoming insurmountable obstacles. My name is Kelly Rowland, and it's my mission to share stories of love, hope, and inspiration on Born to Inspire podcast. Welcome to episode 9 of Born to Inspire. Today's guest is a successful YouTube creator, and in full disclosure, I didn't have to look far to find him. The incredible Jason Hunt and I have been together for 5 years, and throughout those 5 years, I've seen him work tirelessly to achieve his dream, and he's finally starting to see the fruits of his labor. In today's podcast, Jason will go through the ins and outs of establishing yourself as a YouTube creator and offer practical advice in achieving YouTube success. But first, here's how it all began.
Well, I've always had a want to do YouTube because when I first started watching YouTube videos way back in 2009, about 3 years after the website went live and it became popular and everyone started making YouTube channels. I started watching all these people who were in their basements or they were just doing whatever at home. They didn't have like the best stuff. The videos weren't that great, but they were funny and they were interesting. And so I had an idea that I wanted to start a YouTube channel back in like 2009, and I didn't do it forever. And I always talked about doing it. I always thought, oh, yeah, I should do it, but I never did. And then finally in 2017, I said, you know what? I need to do something because, you know, I didn't like the job I was at. And so I thought, you know, people can make money on YouTube. So I'm going to try that. And so I set out, I made a YouTube channel. I technically made my YouTube channel in December of 2016, but I didn't do anything with it because I was still procrastinating. So I sat on it and I finally sat down and said, look, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make one video a day for a year. And we're going to see where I'm at after a year or so. And so I did. I just sat down and I forced myself, no matter how good or bad it is, putting out one video a day. And so I think that's a really good point to start at, is because some people, they'll sit down they'll make one video and then they'll take weeks or months to craft it and edit it. And you could do that forever. And so it's just a way to break out of that procrastination. And so you just force yourself once a day, do a video. It doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes long or if it's half an hour, however long it is, you're putting out something every single day. And I did, and I actually got into the flow. It creates the habit of doing that, and I wanted to make a video game channel because that's what I really like. That's what I'm interested in. That's what I have fun with. And I thought, sure, I can make a video game channel, and I'll just play games and talk to people and do that kind of thing. And I did it, and it was fun, and it was interesting. I enjoyed doing it, but within the first, I'd say 6 months, I probably had 50 subscribers, which is a lot. But when you look at these channels that have like 1 million subscribers, you kind of get deflated because you think, oh, I'm never going to get to 1 million. It's already been 6 months and I have 50. And you don't really, no one sees the work that goes into your channel before you actually make it. They only see it when you make it. And so I was just like, okay, you know what? I said I was going to do this for a year. I'm going to keep doing it. And I kept going. And after 1 year, I had 500 videos put up on YouTube, and that's actually more than one a day. There were a couple months where I was putting up 2 a day and 3 a day sometimes. But after a year, I met my goal. I did at least a year, and I kind of got a flow of how to work. I actually figured out a lot of different things about YouTube because there's a million different tiny little variations about YouTube. It's like any other job. You go in and you don't know all the rules and the details, the things that are going to help you and the things that make it harder until you actually do it. And so after a year of doing it, I kind of got into a flow. I knew what worked and what didn't work and what helped me go faster and what slowed me down. And that's when I sat down and I said, look, I was doing all these kind of videos. Like for me, it was video game videos. And I was just doing a broad spectrum. I would just pick up any game and play it and then just record it and put it online on YouTube. And what I realized is that a lot of people, they don't go to watch you. I mean, they do when you're a huge channel, when they know who you are and they trust you. But at first, when no one knows who you are, they don't care about what you're playing or what you're doing. They're going for information. And so the key, I guess I could say, is if you want to start a YouTube video, the biggest factor is helping people in some way, whatever that happens to be. Like if you're a mechanic, you could do a video series on just how to fix a certain part of your car, because people will be looking for that. They go to YouTube. A lot of people, I'd say the vast majority of people, search YouTube for help on how to do something or how to fix something or how to do this or that. And so if you can put out that information and it's good information, doesn't matter if the quality is not the best. I mean, I've seen people who pulled out their phone from like 2015 was really grainy and terrible. Their mic is not that great either, but they have amazing information. And I'll watch that video because they are knowledgeable and they're a professional and I want to know what they know. And so if you could put that out there, eventually the quality will come. You'll get better at it doing it. And that's the other thing too. I spent a year doing it. My first video compared to my 100th video is completely different. I was quieter. I didn't talk as much. I was blabbering. I didn't really get to the point. I didn't do any of that stuff because it was my first video. But after a while, you start realizing this is boring. I can cut this out, or this doesn't help anything. I can get rid of that. And you get into a rhythm of, okay, these are the videos I want to see, and I'm cutting out all the fat. I'm getting rid of the stuff that doesn't make sense or doesn't help in any way. And so after a year, I kind of had that rhythm, and I finally just sat down and said, okay, the types of videos that I'm going to make now are going to be more informative. They're going to help. And so the first game I tried was a game called No Man's Sky. And it was a brand new game for Xbox. It was already out for a while, but everyone hated it. So no one was really playing it because it was a bad game. But the company that makes the game was still adding stuff to it. They were trying to improve it. And so they did a new release in the summertime of 2018. And so I picked it up, and instead of just playing through it and showing people what it looks like, I said, hey, look, this is a tip. If you want to figure out how to do this, this is how you do that in No Man's Sky. And it blew up. It was crazy. Everyone was watching these tip videos that I was making for No Man's Sky because, number one, a lot of people started playing it. And number two, they were really short to the point and they had a lot of information. So I was really excited about that, and I love it, and it's what I do today.
Now, one thing I can vouch for is that Jason worked hard for a long time and spent a lot of hours working on his YouTube channel with no monetization. Had he not enjoyed it, he never would have lasted as long as he did.
I would say that people started paying attention significantly. It took me from my first video, I uploaded my first video March of 2017, and it wasn't until August 15th of 2018, so about a year and a half. And I found it was half luck, half of hard work, because you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not a little bit lucky, you're not going to get seen because there's so many people on YouTube that it's flooded. And so you're just in there shouting as loud as you can with a million other people shouting too. And so hopefully someone finds you, but it took me about a year and a half to do that. And it wasn't even a big traction. It was, you get these huge hill or these huge mountains, and then you kind of settle back down. And so before August of 2018, I was getting maybe 10 views a day. And then I had this huge mountain, this huge one video took off, and I was getting 1,000 views, then 2,000 views a day. And it was awesome. There was this huge spike. And then after it all died down, after everyone kind of jumped in, they played the game for about a week or two, it started settling back down. And so I was getting a little bit deflated. But the bigger thing is to keep in mind that in the grand scheme of things, I went from averaging about 10 views a day, spiked way up to like 2,000 views a day. Then I came back down to about 100 views a day. So I was still way above where I used to be. And that's the flow of YouTube as far as I've seen it in the past 3 years that I've been doing it. Is you get a video takes off, whatever happens to happen. Either there's an update or something goes viral or some topic is really important. Like if you're making mechanic videos on winterizing your car, that's really only going to get popular during the winter time. So during the summertime, that video is going to kind of die down. In my case, there was a huge update for No Man's Sky. My videos took off, and then after everyone jumped in, played the update, and kind of got a feel for it, my videos started going back down. But I was still above where I was, and so it was more like a step. It was a huge incline, a little bit of a decline. Huge incline, a little bit of a decline. And so that's what you have to bank on. And because YouTube realized that I was a No Man's Sky channel, everyone was coming to my channel for that game in particular. It started promoting my videos to people who watch other videos like it. So when YouTube realizes that that's your thing, that's when it really starts taking off. And that's when you really start seeing the gains. Because even though, there's no updates or nothing's happening with my topic, which is No Man's Sky, I still go up and down, up and down. And so there's weeks where, if there's an update, my channel will skyrocket. But then I'll come back down, but I'll still settle above where I used to be. And just increment by increment, I'm growing my channel.
One of the first things every YouTube creator looks forward to is monetizing their YouTube channel. But that can sometimes be complicated at first.
The way YouTube works right now, and they did change this, that's the other thing that was bad timing on my part. When I started my YouTube channel in March of 2017, we were just about to go into what they call the adpocalypse. And that was at a point in YouTube where at the beginning of 2017, all you had to do was apply to YouTube and say, hey, I'd like to monetize my videos. And YouTube would have a person look at your channel and make sure you weren't, derogatory or explicit, or, you weren't cursing all the time or showing nudity or anything like that. And as long as your channel passed that test, you were okay. They would accept you into the YouTube partner program, as they called it. And then every time someone would watch your video, they would show an ad. Now, that went away with the adpocalypse that summer. The summer of 2017, all the commercial and advertisers, they said, look, you're putting our commercials on top of weird videos that are like terrorist videos and stuff like that. We don't want any part of that. And that's totally understandable. So all these advertisers pulled back and YouTube said, whoa, okay, we're going to make sure that we're going to vet these channels even more. So then they changed the rule to where you had to have 1,000 subscribers and you had to have 4,000 hours of watch time, which means not only do you have to have 1,000 subscribers, you have to have people watching your videos for a total of 4,000 hours. Not one video, just all your videos combined together on your channel. So you have to have people watching a lot of your videos. And so that took me until August of 2018, so a year and a half, basically. And then once you meet those minimum requirements, then you can apply and say, hey, YouTube, I met your requirements. Is my channel okay? And then they scrutinize you even further. They make sure, you're not doing anything explicit. And then they say, okay, yeah, we checked all the videos on your channel. You're okay. You're accepted into the partner program. And then you start making money that way. So it took me about a year and a half. And again, these rules might change. I know they've been talking about putting more stipulations in, so it might change in the future. But as of today, right now, you need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 hours of watch time across your whole channel on every video. I was discouraged at first because I saw my channel going crazy. And so I met the threshold, 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time in the middle of my channel blowing up. And so I thought, oh my God, I'm going to lose all the money because they don't pay you for your previous views before. They only pay going forward. And so I thought, oh my God, I'm getting all these views and I'm not getting monetized because they haven't approved me yet. I applied and I'm still waiting. I'm waiting. And so at first I was really discouraged because I thought I was missing out. But what it really boils down to, at every channel is different. The ad rates, because there's not like an equal level playing field for every single channel. They don't pay you a specific amount for each commercial. Some commercials will pay more than others. And so because I'm a gaming channel, they'll promote a lot of video game commercials on my channel, which makes sense. If you watch one of my videos, you're probably a video gamer, and so you're interested in other video games. The problem is video game commercials don't pay you very much. And so on average, and I could say on average, it goes up and down depending on the time of the month or what commercial plays on your channel. You get about $2 per 1,000 views. At first, when I was getting 1,000 views a day, I was like, this is awesome. That equals out to like $2 a day, which in the grand scheme of things is nothing. But when you're making $0 for a year and a half, making any amount of money is finally worth it. Your investment is starting to pay off, And the other key about that is it's always about the long game, because yes, when I first got monetized, I was making like $2 a day, and that was across all my videos. And so I had 500 plus videos. Every video was making like 1 penny, if that. But what I found is a year and a half later, I still have videos that I made in August of 2018 that get views today. And they still, it's not world shattering or anything. They're not getting like 1 million views a day, but they're getting a lot of views. And so those videos I made 2 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago, they still bring in views. And so I'm still getting paid $1 a day or $2 a day for something I did a year ago. And they pile up. After a while, you have 100, 200, 500 videos that are making you $1 a day. That adds up a lot.
Now, all the hard work is really starting to pay off now that Jason's on the verge of hitting a very important milestone.
Yes, actually, I'm really, really, really excited. I've gotten to the point now where I'm really close. I'm less than 1,000 subscribers away from hitting 50,000 subscribers, which is insane to me. And I'm so appreciative of everyone who's subscribing and watching my channel. But I never thought I would be here this quickly, because, the first year I had 100 subscribers. Literally in 1 year I had 100 subscribers. Then when my channel finally took off, I jumped up to 2,000 subscribers. And I thought that was massive, because it's huge. And then in the second year, I jumped up to 25,000 subscribers. And that's insane. I literally am jumping huge every year. And that's the other side of it too, is it takes years to get there. And I'm not saying everyone will. There's going to be people who break out and they get extremely lucky and they explode right off day one. That's not most people. 99% of YouTube channels, it takes you a long time to get there. But I'm finally getting to the point where I'm reaching 50,000 subscribers, and it is crazy. Technically, you could get sponsorships earlier. It depends on the company. Like most companies, they set a minimum threshold of around 40 to 50,000 subscribers. So they know you have a built-in audience of at least 50,000 people. And they also, some other companies will put a stipulation, you have to get so many views per video. And so, but this is definitely where the door starts cracking open. And for those who don't know, a sponsor video, basically a company will say, hey, we love your channel, we love your videos. Would you mind talking about our products, like our shampoo? Would you mind talking about our shampoo? We'll pay you $500, and all you have to do is, in the beginning of your video, talk about how you used our shampoo and it's the best and all this other stuff. And so when you start getting those kind of things, and you don't have to accept every single one, because there's going to be companies that come out just for everything because you have an audience and they want to make sure they get their product in front of everyone. So you should accept ones that make sense to you. But I'm at that point now with 50,000 subscribers that I can actually reach out, or they can reach out to me and say, look, and you can charge depending on your viewership. You can say, well, I get a lot of views per video, so I'm going to need this much money. Or the company can come back and say, look, you have a lot of subscribers, but you don't get very many views on your videos. We can only offer you this much money. But the door is open, and I love that.
Something every creator looks forward to, myself included, is the day that you can work full-time on your project.
That is definitely my goal. I'm hoping by the end of the year, and knock on wood and all that other stuff, hoping by the end of the year I could be full-time YouTube, because right now I still work at a radio station full-time, and then on my off time, when every extra minute I have, I come home and I record videos for YouTube. So I'm working 2 full-time jobs basically, because everyone on the outside, they watch the video and it's like a 10-minute long video and you enjoy it, but you don't realize that sometimes it takes hours, maybe even days. To make my videos, it probably takes me a good 4 hours to make a 20 to 30 minute video. And there's other people, like if you do animation, it probably takes you weeks or months to do that. And so you're putting a lot of time, effort, and energy into this stuff. And when it finally starts paying off, you get really excited and you start seeing that you can make this into your full-time career. And it's awesome. And I'm hopeful that that's going to happen to me, because it will unlock so much more time. Because right now, I mean, I've reached 50,000 subscribers, nearly 50,000 subscribers. I probably work a good 20 to 30 hours a week on my YouTube channel. But once I am able to just do that on its own and not worry about a day job, I will unlock the extra 40 hours a week that I just use for my day job. So I can double the amount of energy and effort I put into my YouTube channel, and hopefully that'll help it grow even faster.
Now, one thing every potential YouTube creator should remember is there is an ebb and flow to monetization on YouTube.
It varies month to month. And that's the only downside to YouTube when you're only relying on the YouTube ad revenue, the commercials that play in front of your videos or during your videos. It goes up and down depending on the time of year. It also goes up and down depending on how many people are watching. So some months you might get a lot of views, and then you don't get that much money because it's the beginning of the year and nobody is advertising their products. But the reverse of that is towards the end of the year, during Christmas time, everyone wants to advertise. All these commercials are playing and they're paying even more money because they want to make sure to get on your channel. And so you can have the same amount of views, but you'll get paid so much more because the cost of the commercials go up. So yeah, right now I've reached the point where I'm making as much money as I am at my day job, which is really awesome. And so technically I'm getting double income at this point. And so I could kill off my day job, or I can kill off my YouTube channel and I'd be okay because I'm making double the income. I'm hoping, in the next couple of months or so, I can switch from one to the other and just gain some time back. And it's a little bit nerve-wracking because YouTube is such a fickle thing that 1 month, like for instance, during the coronavirus, all these businesses have been shut down because they're not allowed to be open. They can't have so many people in their store. That means that all these commercials, they just disappeared. There's nobody advertising anything because you can't go buy their stuff. That trickles down to YouTube channels because YouTube, where we don't have any commercials to play, I get as the same amount of views or more amount of views, but there's no commercials playing, so I'm not getting very much money. That's something to take into consideration. That's why sponsorships are really important for any YouTube channel. Merchandise as well. You can make a merch store. You can go on any place, and you don't even have to be a YouTube channel. You can just make it if you want to be, if you're a blog, or if you're just in business on your own. You don't even have to have a YouTube channel. You can make merchandise like t-shirts, coffee mugs and stuff, and have people buy those items, and you make a profit off those as well. So it's really important to have multiple streams of income other than your ad revenue. Now, if for a healthy YouTube channel that gets a lot of views, your ad revenue is going to be a big chunk because you're getting a lot of views, which means a lot of commercials are playing, which means you get a lot of money on the back end. But you should never rely on that completely. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to figure out how to diversify my revenue streams on YouTube so I don't have to 100% rely on ad revenue.
In episode 7 and 8 of Born to Inspire, I spoke with business owners who've had to shift the way they run their businesses due to COVID-19. They've been forced to incorporate things like curbside services and virtual shopping for their customers. At the same time, employees across America are losing their jobs or have reduced hours.
I always try to find a silver lining in everything that happens. And so the coronavirus hit, and it forced a lot of people to either work from home or not work at all, which is terrible because at the same time, there's some people who can get unemployment and make it through and pay their bills. Some people cannot. And so what this hopefully has shown a lot of people is it's always better to have something else you're doing, and why not focus your creativity? Because I don't think I've ever met a single person that doesn't want to make their own thing or do their own thing or work for themselves. And that is what YouTube or a blog or working from home can do for you. You can set your own schedule, and that is a good and a bad thing, because if you're not motivated, you're not out there actually doing the work, you don't get paid for it. But at the same time, if you're out there busting your butt and doing the work, you get paid for the amount of blood, sweat, and tears you pour into your project, which
Me personally, I feel like doesn't apply to most of your jobs. Most of us we go to a job, we work from 9 to 5, you get your hour-long lunch, and depending on, some days are harder, some days are easier, but you always get paid the same. They pay you, $12 an hour, $15 an hour, no matter what. If you had the worst day ever, $15 an hour. If you had the easiest day ever, you didn't have to do anything, $15 an hour. Whereas when you're working for yourself at home, whether that's a YouTube channel, whether that's a blog, whatever you happen to be doing, a podcast like this, if you put that extra work in and people watch it more, you get paid more. If you decide to slack off and I'm not going to do something today, or I'm going to put that off till tomorrow, guess what? You don't get paid because you didn't do your project. You didn't do your thing today. And so that's it's a huge motivator. And I think that it helps people because it defines what you're worth. When you're at your job and you're busting your butt every single day and your boss pays you $15 an hour and you're like, dude, I've been, working my hardest, and I see another employee and we're both paid the same amount because we do the same job theoretically, but I know I'm busting my butt and he's over there doing nothing. It's demotivating. You feel like you're wasting your energy because you could just sit around like him and get paid the same amount, but you have that work ethic inside you. You want to get the best job done. That is a huge motivator to doing your own thing. It really is. And especially right now when people have extra time, because this coronavirus took a lot of us out of the workforce. And thankfully, some of us, I would hope a majority of us, can get unemployment and the government can help you get through it. But while you're doing that, maybe you should sit down and say, hey, look, I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel. I've always wanted to do a podcast about this thing. I've always wanted to sit down and write a blog about this. Do it now and really sit down and focus in on it, because you know what? You might want to do it, and then you sit down and do it and you go, it really isn't the same as what I thought it was. And that way okay, this is not for me. Or you might sit down and start recording YouTube videos and realize you love it and it is so much fun, like I found out. And you want to do it all the time. And once you start putting the work in and once you create the habit, it gets so much easier. And then eventually when you start making money from whatever you're doing, that's when you start seeing the return and you're like, okay, this is totally worth the effort. But just keep in mind that it's not an overnight success for 99% of people. Not all of us are going to put out one video or one podcast or one blog post and then explode and be a viral superstar. Most of us, you got to put in day after day after day of, you're basically volunteering. You're doing what you love. And then eventually they'll pay you for it.
I may be slightly partial, but I think this guy's an amazingly talented and hardworking individual, and I found inspiration in watching him follow his dream. But I couldn't end this podcast without asking him to offer my listeners some advice on creating.
Well, I would say to all the potential creators, everyone who's interested in doing it, just do it. Because what I ran into was, I need to have the best computer. I need to have the best microphones. Well, I need to have a studio. Well, I should probably have the best whatever. If you put those roadblocks in front of you and you're the only one doing it, no one else is doing it but you. When you do that, you're just stopping yourself from reaching your dreams, reaching what you want to do, your goals. When I first started YouTube, it was literally a really, really bad computer. It was a laptop that was barely hanging on. And I had the cruddiest little mic I bought from Walmart for $5. That was it. And I was just doing it just to get into the habit. Now, eventually, yes, once you start, making money, or once you start diving in and you realize I love doing this and I'm going to need this thing to make it better, do that. Save your money from your day job. It's an extra $20, $50, and buy that thing, either the better computer or a better microphone or whatever happens to be the case. But do it now. Whatever you have in your house, you can pull out your phone. 90% of people have a smartphone that you can record audio and video on. That's all you need. Make sure it's something you're passionate about, because if you don't care about it, then people watching you know that, and they say, well, why would I watch someone who's angry about doing this? I don't want to. But if you're passionate about it, they're not going to care if you're recording sideways on your phone in the middle of the day and it's all echoey inside your house. They just want the information you have. and they want to see you enjoying doing what you're doing. I don't know how many comments I've gotten on my YouTube channel that they enjoy watching me, not because they've never seen the video game I'm playing. Most of them have played it before. They enjoy watching my videos because I'm excited about it and I'm informative. I'm teaching them something they've never knew about, and I'm happy while I'm doing it. Those are the keys to success. Be happy about what you're doing and enjoy what you're doing.
To say I'm proud of Jason is an understatement. He's a shining example of how hard work and determination, along with creativity, equals success. I would like to thank him for taking the time out of his busy schedule to share his story, and thank you so much for listening. Stay healthy, and remember, we all have special skills and talents that others could benefit from, so take what you know and create. Until next time, don't forget to share some inspiration.